Hello everyone and welcome back to another FNaF prop video. Now today we're doing a bit more of a vlog style thing. I haven't really done a standalone vlog in years, but I kind of feel like this one would be interesting because we'll be looking over some of the FNaF life-size props I've made. Now, as you guys may know, I'm in the middle of making Give Gifts, Give Life episode 5, and in order to do that I need to make a couple of life-size FNaF characters because I don't want to like get actors on board just to sit still in a FNaF costume for a little bit. So what I do is I make these life-size props because they look somewhat more realistic, since I don't really need an actual human in them, or since there's no need to have an actual human in them. And I don't know, I just kind of prefer doing this more. But the first one I got is obviously the puppet. He's just kind of leaning out of my closet now. Right now it's got like the puppet before mask on because of, again, I'm filming Give Gift, Give Life episode, or the Give Gift, Give Life episode 5 remake. Next up we have Unwithered Foxy. Now, if you guys remember my 2016 FNaF Halloween video, I basically had a life-size Foxy sitting on the ground. This is basically made the exact same way, except I changed the head. Now, the interesting about this is it's the same exact mask as my Withered Foxy mask, but I made like some patches and stuff on it that could be removed. Like you could kind of see like a little bit of a seam right there, but they can be removed in order to make it Withered Foxy again. And I made a whole nother ear cover that covers his little endoskeleton ear. I'm afraid to like take it off because I don't want to move the head too much, and like if I do that, his head or his entire body could like slump over, because like whenever I make these there's a lot of balancing involved. It takes a lot of concentration and like just fiddling with it to get him to sit up like this. Yeah, of course, it's basically FNaF 1 Foxy's body with that head on it, and of course no tear on the chest. It's honestly kind of creepy to look at, especially from the side with that like menacing jaw. The way it's just kind of lifelessly sitting here. And then the next one I'll show you, which I'm practically tripping on. Now, not all of these FNaF props are being used in the next episode of Give Gifts, Give Life, as you'll probably obviously see. But next one isn't really completely put together because I have to use some of the metal rods I would normally use for it in other props and stuff, and that would be life-size Mangle. Now, right now I'm working that little endoskeleton body in the center there isn't completely done. I'm still working on it. It's going to be spray painted, and probably next week there will be a video on that, so look out for that. And so basically not everything's connected. You got the FNaF 1 Mangle head, which FNaF 1 Mangle head, the FNaF 2 Mangle's endoskeleton head, which isn't really 100% accurate because I made it without a reference like 2 years ago. And then we have Mangle's head. Now, out of all of my old masks that were made out of like boxes and stuff, I feel like the Mangle head turned out the best, just because it was spray painted and like the actual character isn't like covered in fur, and it just kind of fits. You might see like a bunch of like foam everywhere. That's because like I was literally just working on this before recording. But and then if we go back next to Withered Foxy, you've probably seen him already. It's Golden Freddy, or Fredbear. Now, of course, this isn't like the full costume, and I put some, instead of using the actual hands that I would use for the costume, I used some old gardening gloves. Now, the reason behind this is because the hands for the actual costume are really, what's the word I'm looking for? They're segmented, like, so it'd be hard to like get them to all sit together, and I'd probably have to get like a black glove, and like put them on there, which I don't really have. But yeah, he's got like this little thing that it works as like a plastic microphone, and then he's got the entire costume on this is probably the most complete actual costume I have, like, out of all of them. Now, of course, like, the little thing in here is basically just a placeholder. It's like a morph suit that's stuffed up with blankets just to, like, keep it propped up. But yeah, also, something I want to mention is, I did give this mask top teeth. Also, the eyebrows are removable to make it look like, the FNaF 4 minigame Fredbear, but if you look in there, you got some top teeth there, and of course his top hat can be swapped out with the black one that's on Freddy right now to make it look more like Golden Freddy. But yeah, and then moving on, we got the actually no, not the only one that's standing up, but we got Freddy. He's kind of blocked off by the puppet's control bar, but if we just kind of go underneath there, he's not completely done. Like, he's missing arms, of course, and his bow tie, but the arms are kind of like being worked on right now. I'm taking some old ones and I'm going to wrap them in fabric, that way they look better, because I don't want them to look like they're made of cardboard when the rest of the body's like covered in this brown fur, except for the head, I guess. But we'll make a new one of those, or we'll make a new Freddy head way later. There's a bunch of other masks that I'll remake first, and masks that I want to, like, new masks that I want to make before I work on a new Freddy. And then next up we have Bonnie. Now, of course, this is like one of the older things from that I made like back in 2016 for Halloween. It's basically just a torso at this point. It's missing an arm. I have no idea where that went. I would have its eyes, but those are like somewhere like underneath those two masks, and I personally didn't want to like go get those two masks down for no reason. So they're just kind of like eyeless right now. I'll find them eventually, though. Again, it's one of my older masks. This is like the, I think this is the 4th mask I've ever made. Out of all of them, I made it sometime back in 2015 originally. The body, though, that's from 2016. And then right underneath him, we got number 1 crate. Not a whole lot to say about this guy. It's number 1 crate, just kind of propping up Bonnie. And then, keeping with the theme of FNaF 6, we have Molten Freddy, who's got his arms like going over towards Plushtrap and number 1 crate. Now, this guy he's not that tall. At least not as tall as Freddy. Like, Freddy's freaking huge. Here, this is like eye level for me. And then he's like a lot taller. I don't know. But and then for him, I have to look down at him, which is fine. Now, I added a lot more wires to his mask since the last video I had him in. Now I got some wires from an old extension cord that was broken, and I basically like took, I basically stripped that down and like put what was inside all over, like, to just kind of help it look a bit more like thick. You could barely even see like the little rod that keeps him standing up. Well, I mean, unless you like go this way, but still. I had to make a couple of adjustments to him last night, to his little stand, because I had, it was breaking. It was originally just a plastic tube sticking out of a foam block, but I kind of like added to it to make it more stable. And yeah, this one's pretty tall, but not too tall. It's not really that tall compared to some of the other ones I got. And then, of course, we got a little Cupcake, and right next to him is an endoskeleton head I've been working on. The eyes are still kind of a work in progress. I need to finish painting him. It just looks like he's seeing into like the freaking 4th dimension. Oh yeah, and then we got Spring Bonnie right here. This is probably the first video I've shown them with their eyes in, but yeah, they do have eyes now. So does Golden Freddy. Actually, I think you could see it with eyes in the original video. But anyways, Cupcake should still work. Some things might be knocked out of place that I gotta put back before I get it working. Here, hold on. Just for balls. There we go. It's running low on batteries, so I kind of have to assist it by like tilting it back because it doesn't have a whole lot of power left in it. I gotta replace those soon. It shouldn't be that bad though. Anyways, let's turn you off. And then right underneath we see Plushtrap, who's... Oop, if it'll focus, there we go. Now, he's missing an eye, but you could probably see it in there if you look deep enough. The eyes are just kind of loosely in place, that way I can remove them for like specific reasons. All of these masks are like that, including Withered Foxy. The only mask I have that isn't like that would have to be Lefty right here. His eye, her eye, I don't know, is firmly like stuck in place using a paper clip, if you can see that. Kind of looks weird from like an underneath angle, but I've kind of gotten used to it by now. Anyways, back to Plushtrap. So with Plushtrap, he kind of got like an upgrade, or with his chair, it went from an old wooden rocking chair to like this old gaming chair. Not old gaming chair, it's relatively new actually. Oop, I'm just tripping on Mangle. But yeah, as per usual, the eyes still follow you. Kind of an interesting little gimmick that I added to it that's in a lot of my masks now. I think Spring Bonnie does it. Yeah, Spring Bonnie does it, where you can like turn and it'll like almost always be looking directly at you. But yeah, and I think that'll just about do it for today. I just wanted to make a quick video on the life-size FNaF props. I would love to have Plushtrap standing right now, but his freaking he's like really hard to get to stand up, especially with cardboard knees. He usually has like rods and stuff that go into his legs to help him stand up, which is how I was able to get him to stand up for some of the pictures I took of him after I first made him. But again, he's like just kind of gotten weaker, so I'm like thinking about making a special stand for him. That way I could have him like stand, or at least look like he's standing up, while in reality he's like resting on the stand. That way I could like use it for videos and it'd be easier to like move around and stuff. But yeah, if there's like any character you want me to make soon, I will try to get to them, but do keep in mind that most of the props I make are for future FNaF videos, like the Five Nights at Freddy's in real life videos, or what is it? Give Gifts, Give Life. So I may or may not actually, it may be a while until I actually get to what you ask me to make, so just keep that in mind, I guess. I will probably, if I like the idea though, I probably will try to make it. I am still working on Withered Bonnie, by the way. That's something I've kind of hit a roadblock on, which is why there hasn't been a Withered Bonnie video in a while. It basically looks almost the same as it did in the mini arena video, except I added some more fabric and stuff to the what is it? The bottom jaw and the right ear. It's right ear, not you're right, but so yeah, it's the main thing that's keeping me from finishing it is the red lights. Now the problem with or that I'm going to put in size, but the problem with those is that in order to make them, I need to I kind of have to rewire some stuff into like the fake endoskeleton head I'm making for it, and I'm running out of red bulbs because I kept using batteries that were too high of a power to actually like work for them. So they started burning out when I was like trying to use them. So now I'm running out of red bulbs, and I need to find some batteries that'll that I can use that won't burn them out. I have to, anyways. I've been rambling on for long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this one, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.